Hey, what's cracking, everybody? Today I'm gonna take a look at a system called DebLinux 5.3. This is another system that I've had on my I've had it downloaded for about a month and I'm barely getting to it now. So we're gonna do the first look and take a look at DebLinux 5.3, see what it has to offer. We'll take a look at the installation and see what all it has. Run through it, see if it's good for new users or not. So without wasting any more time, let's get on the virtual machine and take a look at DebLinux 5.3. All right, and here on the virtual machine, we have a window that opened up when I first booted the ISO. And on the first screen, it says welcome. And then there's another tab here where it says install. So I'm gonna click on the install tab and you have, looks like some desktop environments. We have Mate, Cinnamon, XFCE, LXQT, and KDE. So I don't know if it's going to install all of the desktops or if I have to click on one so it could be a specific one, because there is a button right here that says install. So I don't know if I just clicked it might do the Mate, because it looks like the ISO is on the Mate desktop environment. But I guess if I wanted to choose one of these other desktop environments, I guess I would have to click on it. For example, let's say XFCE. Then XFCE, pronounced as if each letter were independent of the others, is a graphical environment for various Unix-like systems such as GNU Linux or FreeBSD. All right, so we'll go with the XFCE. I'll click on install DebLinux XFCE. It says installa, but we'll go ahead and click on it, see what happens. All right, and it's opened up the Calamares installer. So we'll just go through the process and get it installed. So first I'll click on next since American English is selected. And my location right now is saying in New York, but let me change it to Los Angeles. And my keyboard layout is English US. Click on next. Then I'll select to erase disk. Click on next. Now I have my user info. And I'll give it a password. And I'll select to log in automatically. As I've stated before in previous videos, if you're a new user, do not log in automatically unless you know what you're doing. All right, let's proceed. I'll click on next. All right, get an overview of everything that's going to happen during the installation. Click on install, then install now. All right, benvenuto su DebLinux 5.2. So I think that's Italian. I'm not sure. I don't speak Italian, but I'm just reading it as the letters spell out. Pero sí hablo poquito español. All right, so I'll let it go through the installation, and once it's finished, we'll reboot into DebLinux 5.3. Right here it says 5.2, but it's supposed to be 5.3. But we'll see. We'll get it installed and we'll take a look. So I'll go ahead and I'll pause the video right now. And when we come back, we'll take a look at DebLinux 5.3 or probably 5.2. So one window said 5.3 and right here it says 5.2. So we'll see. All right, so I'm gonna pause the video now. Hang tight. And installation is now completed. So we got a message right here, all done. DebLinux 5.2 has been installed on your computer. You may now restart into your new system. So there's a little check mark here for restart. So I'll click on done and it should just reboot. And we are now rebooted into the system. So let me go ahead and fix the screen resolution, give us a proper 1080p. So I'll click on display. And let me find 1920 by 1080, and there it is. Click on apply. Keep this configuration, and we're all done. All right. So you see up here on the title bar, it says DebLinux 5.3. But even when I rebooted the system and on the grub menu, it said DebLinux 5.2. So I don't know if this is an error on their part. Maybe they forgot to fix that little section. But right here it says DebLinux 5.3. So I want you guys to see that on the top menu, it says DebLinux 5.3. All right, and the welcome screen has opened up and it says, welcome to the DebLinux installer with desktop options. This program makes installing DebLinux easy with several desktops available. Now this is weird because we are not on the ISO, we are on the system itself. So the installation is not here no longer. So I think this welcome screen was meant for the installation screen, but they got it on here on the welcome for the regular system. And there is a button right here that says first steps. So let's click on that. So you can back up your system with time shift. This button just says software. So I'm going to assume that it opens up a software manager, but we'll get back to that right now. Then package list, not sure what that does. And update Flatpak. Update Flatpak is on the bottom. But we'll come back to this right now. Instruments. Got maintenance, repair boot, cleaning, disinfo. Configurations, control center, adjust audio, configure print, utilities, OPH crack, USB format, well etch, and auto login, disk cloning, Clonezilla, recovery, test disk, photorec, DebLinux software. So just a DebLinux screensaver. So that's the instruments. Now we'll go to PC info, get your general information, got memory, CPU, hard disk, motherboard, operating system, graphics. Now let me go back here to operating system and you can see right here what I'm talking about. See right here, it says it's supposed to say architecture, but it looks like it's probably Italian. Arquitectura, DebLinux 5.3, kernel 6.1.0-22. And then right here under the release, it says DebLinux 5.2. All right, so I know a lot of you guys like to leave comments. If you guys know what this is about, leave a comment and let me know. Instead of telling me, no, that's not DebLinux 5.2, 5.3 or whatever. Just, there's conflicts of interest on the same page right here. So you can see that. Then we got info on graphics. And then remote support. So got a little widget here for remote support. To receive remote assistance through DWAG, I guess it's DW agent or RustDesk, the user requesting support can choose one of the two programs, both already installed on DebLinux. Once you have decided, just launch the chosen program and tell the remote assistant the associated username or ID and the temporary password generated by the program. This information will allow the remote assistant to establish a secure connection and provide assistance, or it just stops at or. So, alrighty then. All right, let's go back to the first step so we can take a look at these systems. So time shift, clicking on time shift, you're prompted to give a password. You enter your password and comes up with the window, and from here you set up your backup, snapshot, restore points, whatever you want to call them. All right, so right here you just go through the system, set it up, and get it all done. Software, let's open it up and see what it is, because I don't know what it is. It's probably Synaptic, but let's wait for it to open. No, it looks like it's the GNOME software. Or a version of GNOME software, or a fork of it, or again, every time something's a fork or something built off of something else, someone's always in the comments correcting me. So don't mean to set you off or get you started. I'm just going by what I assume that it is, but right now I'll check the about and we'll see exactly what it is. As soon as it finishes loading the cache, because I believe it's loading up the cache and probably setting up the repositories or whatever. All right, so at first glance, it appears to be the GNOME software or Ubuntu software, but let's find out for sure. Let's look at the about software. There it is, software, the GNOME project. All right. All right, so right here, you can install obviously software. You can search for software. Let me just look at the menu real quick. Look at the graphics. Let's see. We already have GIMP installed. On our internet, we have Firefox. You know what? Let me just search for something simple like Pluma. Pluma is a text editor. It's a lightweight text editor, so I'll click on it. And it looks like it's installing from DebLinux. So we'll click on install, give it our password. And it shouldn't take that long to install, being that it is a Debian system. But we'll wait and see. Oh, there it is. It's installed. Let's open it up. And yeah, there it is. A lightweight text editor. Goes without saving. All right. And this is your software manager. And it is using the GNOME software manager. All right, we'll go ahead and close that. Now let's take a look at a package list. All right, give it some time to open up. A lot of times when you open something for the first time, it'll do this and take a while, but we'll see. We'll see if it even opens up at all. Because sometimes programs, they do these type of things. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Being that it's my first time using this system, I'm finding out for the first time. All right, looks like nothing is opening up. So let me try to click on update Flatpak and see what happens. Okay, we're waiting. Still nothing. All right, I'll go ahead and close this down. And this is our welcome screen. All right, so from the installation, you see I installed the XFCE desktop environment. So we have some icons, some desktop icons right here. On the window, we have our panel on the bottom, and the panel on the bottom has a system tray on the right. You get your name right here, which gives you like a log out and all that. Yep, it does. Then you got your time and date, opens up a calendar. You got your alerts, battery, if you would like on a laptop. Then you got your internet, things like that. And you also have your workspaces down here. It looks like you have 4 workspaces. And then on the right, the only thing that's pinned is a terminal emulator. So I'm going to assume this is the XFCE 4 terminal. Let's go ahead and look at the about. No, it's the GNOME terminal. Okay, I got to stop assuming because sometimes it's not what you think it is. I'm sure it's installed in here because it is a XFCE desktop, but they chose to have the GNOME terminal. All right, looking at the GNOME terminal, let's see if they got HTOP installed. They do not. How about NeoFetch? And they do not. So let's go ahead and install them real quick. Now, if I remember correctly, on Debian, you have to SU into the system. But let's see if they have sudo already configured. So sudo apt install HTOP NeoFetch. Now I'll give it the -y so we don't have to, well, that's not a dash. Okay, some reason it's not picking up the dash on my keyboard, so I'm just gonna click it like that. And it is working. So they do have sudo set up already out of the box. I don't know if most newer Debian systems are set up like this or not. I know in the past, whenever I've used a Debian-based system, I had to SU into the system before I can use sudo and had to configure it. Now, right here, we got an error. Mail cap is not in required format, not updated. Okay, but what about the rest? Did the rest work? Let's find out. Okay, so HTOP did install. Let me go ahead and try to make it bigger. I think there's something wrong with the keyboard settings because I'm trying to make the screen bigger, but it's not allowing me. So let's try zoom in. Zoom in. All right, that's good enough. All right, and our memory, we're using 1.4 gigabytes. It is kind of high on the gigabytes, especially for an XFCE type of system. So something must be running in the background. But on our load averages, they are pretty standard, 0.2, 0.9, 0.6. So it's pretty straightforward. Not not something to be cause. Let me go ahead and clear the screen. Now let me try NeoFetch. And there's NeoFetch. And even right here, it says DebLinux 5.2. So a lot of conflicting statements about this system. The kernel, it is 6.1. We saw that earlier. And you got all your uptime packages, shell, resolution, desktop environment, window manager theme, icons, terminal, CPU, GPU, and your memory. And this is the GNOME terminal. All right, now let's take a look at the applications menu. So click on this button, and you got it listed by favorites, recently used, all applications, accessories, education, graphics, internet, multimedia, office, other, science, settings, and system. So it comes with pretty much all the basic applications that we'll use. So you got GIMP on here, GThumb, image reader, you even have a scan tool, document, digicam. And on the internet, you do have Firefox and Google Chrome and ICE. So pretty good on internet. Multimedia, got Audacity, Bracero, Pulse Audio, VLC, and WinFF. So with VLC alone, you can pretty much do anything you need to do with audio and video, apart from encoding and re-encoding, which you can do, but it's more for audio and video playback. Then you got your Office suite, so that's pretty good. So it comes with pretty much everything you need, so it's all here. Alrighty then, so this is DebLinux 5.3 or 5.2, depending on how you look at it. All right, it's pretty standard. Just had a couple failures, just opening up a couple things, but other than that, it's working properly. Everything's smooth on here, not getting any errors. Let me try opening in some programs and see if we get any other errors. Say for example, GIMP. Yeah, GIMP opens up pretty normal, no problems whatsoever. At least it looks like no problems, but it is taking a while to load. Well, there you go. Usually it's like that when you open up something for the first time, but yeah, there it is. It's opened up. See what version of GIMP. It's 2.10.34. All right. So let me open up VLC too, see how that works. All right, yeah, there's VLC. Check out the version. It is 3.0.21 veterinary. And if you click this, it says Debian build for bookworm security at Debian AMD build June 10th, 2024. Latest and the greatest on VLC. Nice. All right, for those of you that like to theme your systems, you just go to your settings, go to appearance, and from here you can change the theme. You can change to a dark theme, change the icons, add white, DebLinux, GNOME. You can see the icons changing right here on the desktop. Got high contrast, Tango. Use whatever you want to use. Then if you want to change the window manager, which is the border around the window, you got the lower default, two defaults. Quality, Moheli. So whatever suits your style, and you can always download more and take a look at them. So that's just a quick look at theming. There's other things you can do right here in the system settings. You can control your desk. You got your desktop controls, your file manager settings, text editor settings, notifications, display, color profiles, keyboard. There's just a variety of stuff. Pretty much everything that controls your system, you'll find it right here in system settings. Unless you install something separate from the system that it's not that's not specified to be under the control settings by XFCE, because this is the XFCE desktop environment. But pretty much get everything done through here. All right then. Well, this is a first look at DebLinux. It works. No complaints from me. There were a few programs that didn't open, but it was just something on the welcome screen that I don't think it hurt the system or did anything. At least nothing that I could see. This is not a deep dive into the system. We're not going deep. I'm just taking a look at it just from a new user perspective. That way, if you're a new user and it's something that you're interested in, there you go. But that's gonna do it for me on this video. I hope you enjoyed my first look at DebLinux 5.3. If you enjoyed the video, please like. If you're not a subscriber yet, please subscribe. And leave a comment. Let me know if there was something that you think I should have took a look at that I didn't. Because basically we just went through the installation, the welcome screen, and a few programs. But if there was something that you really wanted me to take a look at in the system, leave a comment. If I find it useful, I'll make another video on it and I'll go through it. All right, you guys. Well, that's going to do it for me on this video. I'll leave all the links in the video in the description. So if you want to download it, take a look at it, play with it. I urge you to do it in a virtual machine first. That way you know what you're getting into before you go bare metal with it. Better be safe than sorry. All right, you guys. That's going to do it for me. And I'm out.